Good evening and welcome back to the Trentino region of Italy. It's only been 10 minutes since the lead climbing finished and myself and Mike Langley have been joined in the commentary box by Ahmed Tori, and we're live in Arco. Sitting at the northern end of Lake Garda, Arco is a name that has long been associated with climbing competitions. The town itself is wonderful and has an old-fashioned feel, but somehow it manages to also be a fun and vibrant place to be at the same time. Home to 16,000 people and an equal number of sport climbing routes, Arco is a place that has been graced by some of the biggest names in climbing, and it remains a truly legendary town for anybody who loves our sport. To win on the famous overhangs of Arco is still one of the great goals of any competitor. Ahmed, you joined me here last year, and you joined me and Mike in Paris, and me in Vale. That's how we roll. Colorado, Vale.
Just randomly we're running into each other and talking about speed and bouldering, eh?
And speaking about the speed climbing today, conditions not ideal, but we've seen the times tumbling this year.
Yeah, we've got a lot of humidity. That might be a huge factor with it. Honestly, like with these holds, you don't want to be slipping at all. You don't want sweaty palms, so. I mean, that's probably why. Like everything's kind of going a little sideways for people.
Yeah, we saw it in the lead climbing, of course. Have a look at the replay if you haven't seen it.
Right.
And we know in lead climbing and bouldering, it's very important you can lose your grip. In speed climbing, explain to us how the conditions affect the times and the ability of the climbers to have a clean run.
Well, at an outdoor venue like this, like everything comes into play. Like wind, humidity, like heat, everything. And over the past couple days, it has been pretty hot. I know, I'm from Texas, so I definitely know heat and humidity. It's been pretty toasty here, and I can see how that would affect the speed climbers' just grip and just mental performance. That is something that you're thinking about before you do that. Many people are practicing indoors and stuff like that, so when you come out here into this element, that can really mess you up mentally.
So as a speed climber, are you trying to adjust your speed slightly to try and get a clean run when conditions are like this?
So you probably adjust your strategy a little bit. You want to get a time period, so you might reserve a little bit on your first run just so you get a clean run, and then that way on your second run you can go all out. If you've slipped, then at least you have that other one to fall back on.
Remember, of course, here in speed climbing there are 16 climbers taking part in the women's and the men's event, and at this stage of the final of the speed climbing, it is a knockout event. You're racing the person next to you much more than you're racing the clock. And Ahmed, we often talk about the lanes in speed climbing. We've got the left lane and the right lane. For people that might not have seen that, just explain why people might favor one or the other.
So as you can see, on the left side, when you're starting, you're going to be facing to the left anyway. So it's really nice not worrying about the competitor to your right. Whereas if you're on the right side, you're directly looking at that person. And we saw that last year, how that affected Bassa's run with Daniel. Daniel lifted his hand, and Bassa saw that, thought that it was, that they were going to restart the run. Beep went off, Daniel went, and Bassa, he delayed by about a half second, maybe more.
He was flat-footed, I remember it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And remember, of course, this year in 2017, there are no second chances if you false start here. Nope. One false start and you're out. Previously, you could have one false start, carry it in for the rest of the competition, and then you're on your last chance. Now, no false starts allowed. And we also have a new starting procedure this year.
That's right.
We're starting on, the climbers know when the beep is coming.
Fantastic.
Basically.
Exactly. It's all the same. It used to be random, so the beep could go a little bit shorter or a little bit longer, and that was always random. That's always something that has affected speed climbers' runs in the past. It definitely freaked me out when we had that. It's am I gonna false start this run because it's the long one, or am I not gonna get a good enough start because it's the shorter one? Now that it's the exact same timing and of the beep, everybody can really get an explosive start and know that they're not going to false start for that reason. And that's probably why the rules changed as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's better, but I did not say it was perfect. That is for sure.
So it's good to note here in Arco as well that the wall is certified for world records, and we have both world record holders racing here. Reza Aliborshena in the men's with a record of 5.48, and Kaplina, who's racing on the left, currently the world record holder, 7.32. That is not Anik Zuber on the wall, it's Kaplina. Good start from both athletes. Not a particularly clean start from the Italian Silvia.
Not a very good start, no. She will have another run. Hopefully she can, keep her composure and do a clean second run. Solid run out of Kaplina, though. An 8:12, that's a very fast run.
And next, Elena Timofeeva on the left. And she'll be taking on Elisabetta Dalla Brida, also of Italy, well represented here today. Just seen Ludovico Fasali, one of the male competitors, warming up just before we arrived at the box. Timofeeva on the left. Dalla Brida on the right. It was a quick start from Dalla Brida, and too quick.
Wow.
We mentioned the false start rule.
Yes, we did.
I said it was a quick start. It was a false start. As I said, there are no second chances. That's it, unfortunately, for the Italian climber.
And with that rule change and really just the beep being consistent, I would say it kind of balances out, and you get about the same amount of pressure that you did before.
So Timofeeva gets essentially another practice run. Don't think she'll be giving this the beans. She'll cruise up, record a time, and progress to the last 8, where she will take on Yulia Kaplina. You can see, not in any rush, even has time to pause. Gives you some idea of the calibre of speed climber we have, though. She's able to cruise like that.
She did fall. I think she got a little too comfortable on that. That is not good for speed climbers at all, to be entirely too comfortable on the route. You want a little bit of the jitters just to keep you going and keep you focused.
We never mess around too much in these speed climbing World Cups, and Anna Stiganova already out, Ala Marenic out. Both climbers you might expect to see a bit deeper into the competition. Stiganova on the left didn't quite get as good a start as Marenic, but she's reined her in quite quickly.
Anna had a fantastic middle section over there, and there you go. That is the result.
8:28, 9:21 for Ala Marenic.
That's interesting. I think we're seeing those conditions come into play, because normally I'm seeing these ladies go high 7s, and today it seems like everybody's a little bit more cautious. That could also be because of the rule change as well.
So Aurelia Saracen is out closest to your camera there. Claudia Bukchek of Poland. You can see her far side just been clipped in. Saracen's on the left, Bukchek's on the right. Round of 16 here in Arco. And it was a quick start from Aurelia Saracen.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Clean start.
And a clean run up until now. Just needs to keep it together. Looked like she might be caught towards the end, but 8.63 sees her through. Wins that one by 26 hundredths of a second, 8.89 for Claudia Bukchek.
A little bit of a slip up top, but her start more than made up for it.
Yeah, she was quick the whole way up the first half of the route.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good recovery as well.
So Anouk Jobert, you can see her on the left there, won 4 World Cups without managing to clinch the overall title last year. as ever, very focused. And as Zadeh on the right. Joubert, the strong favourite here, just twitched before she set off. She's climbing not too far off full pace actually. Quick time from Joubert for this stage of the competition, and in these conditions, 8.2 flat.
Very good.
9.23 for Farnaz.
Had a little hesitation on the start, but very, very clean throughout the whole run. Very comfortable.
Yes, of course, she's been having an increasingly intense rivalry with Julia Kaplina. Kaplina will run unopposed in the next round because we had did not finish and a false start in the race that would have decided who raced against her. Very unusual to see that. Elena Timofeeva had a clean run to the top, no one to race.
That's right.
Perhaps a loss of concentration.
It's very easy to lose. It is very easy to lose concentration.
So out next, Patricia Chudziak and Adita Ropek. Adita Ropek, the veteran speed climber. And she got a very quick start there. That's experience for you, but Chudziak perhaps with a faster pace through the middle section. She's got a slim lead, but a slip will cost her, and Ropek goes through 8.59. No time recorded.
That was a perfect example of just how speed climbing can just be going your way for 1 second and then immediately change, like, the next second.
And interesting as well, Adita Ropek, she's got a good start, got left behind slightly, but she's climbed steadily. We've mentioned the conditions plenty of times. It's hot, it's humid. She judged them to perfection. She'll progress. Out next, Maria Krasavina, left-hand side. Andrea Rojas of Ecuador on the right. They've been well represented here in Arco, Ecuador. A few handy climbers coming through. And it was a very quick start from Rojas, and a slip from Krasavina means she should likely take this one. Just about hangs on for the top, and we'll wait the time. It was 8.81. 9.68 for Maria Krasavina. So far seems to be the better condition. We wouldn't see the results we have at this stage, but it's all about who copes with it best. Anna Brozek out next. She'll be taking on Victoire Andrier of France. Speed climbing, of course, becoming increasingly important at the Olympics in 3 years' time. It will be across all three disciplines. You're going to see an increasing amount of lead climbers and boulders speed climbing. Reaching this final 16.
That is right.
Is another level. Quick start from Brozek, and she's just about hung on to that lead that she established early on. She is going to knee climb precisely, though. She's doing that so far.
Oh!
Holds it together to the top, and Andrier failed to press the timing device at the top and does not record a time. 8.48 for Anna Brozek. She's through. So interesting women's round of 16. The times, compared to what we've seen this season, not blisteringly fast, but just about getting the job done at this stage.
That's right. That's right. You're just trying to move on and get as close to finals or the final as you possibly can and get at first place position.
As I mentioned, it is a knockout format here in the speed. 16 becomes 8, becomes 4, becomes 2, becomes 1. They're all competing for a place in what we call the big final in speed climbing. That's to decide first and second place, and then we have the small final as well that decides third and fourth. I mentioned I've just seen Ludovic Ofasali out the back of the venue here in Arco, looking relaxed, very focused, slightly more pressure than he might be used to climbing in front of his home crowd.
Sure, that's fueling the fire, though.
I'm sure it is. Guillaume Moreau of France on the right, taking him on. Very different build. Fasali much taller, Morrow much shorter, but they both get a good start. Fasali got that scurrying start despite his height, but I think he could be caught here. This will be tight. 6.34 and 6.43. It was tight. Fasali had a lead, lost it and regained it. I mentioned he is tall, Ludovic Fasali, and that scurrying style is really nice to watch. Somehow manages to get those big limbs underneath him and driving again.
That's right.
So another Italian climber, Leonardo Jontero, he's out on the left. Familiar figure, Xixin Chong of China out. Took a lot of time off in 2016. Had his first child. Very much back on it, back in form 2017.
Leonardo is also one of those speed climbers that has just unbelievable focus. He's here. I saw him last year, and he's just blisteringly fast.
Very intense competitor. Little twitch there from Chong and a slip early on. And Leonardo Jontero shouldn't struggle to bring this one home. Needs to climb cleanly and does. 6.51. Pretty fast time. 7.78 from Xixin Chong. Never quite got it going. He was slightly behind out the start. Early mistake. Never going to catch him without a major mistake from Jontero.
Yeah, not without Leonardo. Yeah, with Leonardo there, you can't really slip up.
So an old Russian affair. Vladislav Dulin on the left. World Cup winner already in 2017. Takes on Arseny Bogomolov. Russia exceedingly strong in speed climbing. So they're real powerhouses here.
With their training, I've heard, I haven't seen, but I know they do some blindfolded speed climbing on this wall. So they're very familiar with the beta here.
Dulin and Bogomolov both get clean starts, but Dulin pure pace through that middle section. Few slips from Bogomolov and a relatively cruisy win for Dulin. Fast time as well, 6.08, 7.14 on the right hand side for Bogomolov. Yeah, Ahmed, you were saying that blindfolded speed climbing.
That's right.
This is something you've got to try, surely.
Oh yeah, no, I've tried it. I'm not nearly as good at it. Not nearly as good at it. It is very, very difficult. But once you get that beta down, like, you just know where your feet are, and you can get it done. Maybe not as fast as you'd like, but you can get it done.
So no female climbers under 8 seconds yet, and no male climbers under 6. But that was close from Vladislav Dulin. It's the closest we've had, 6.08. Martin Zienski was the dominant force, particularly in the last half of 2016. Gianluca Zodda of Italy on his right.
Ready.
Quick start from Zienski. He's got that real speed through the middle section. He's not the tallest climber, but he slips and it cost him victory. He is out. Big surprise here in Arco.
That's right.
Zienski out, 7.54, 6.43 for Zodda. So Xixin Song and Martin Zienski both out in the first 4 races here in Arco.
That's crazy. Just last year, Marcin was our victor. So,
you ever had a chance to? Are you going to get the chance to check out these Russian training facilities?
I hope so. I hope so.
Just need an invite.
Politics might get in the way of that a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll try and find you a different passport, maybe.
There we go.
A trip to Russia. It might not be a bad idea. See if Canada's got one going.
They'll believe it.
So closest to the camera there, Reza Ali Porshena Zandifar, the current world record holder and dominant force in 2017. He showed glimpses of it last year. This year, very much delivering on that promise. Take on Carlos Granja of Ecuador. Do apologize if my Spanish pronunciation is not what it might be.
You know, coming from Texas, I should probably know a little bit better with a Spanish accent, but I do not, unfortunately.
So Reza, expect fireworks here. He does tend to measure his pace as the event goes on, but he'll still be quick early on. Could be under 6 seconds. Is under 6 seconds. 5.94, 7.14 for his opponent.
And you can see, you know, honestly, it's getting more humid. I can feel it, like as the night, like it's becoming like closer and closer to nighttime, and I can see it. Like he's slipping a little bit more. I can see their feet like kicking out a little bit, and that is definitely affecting their times. As they go on, I'm sure they're going to get a little bit more like bold and cautious all at the same time.
Yeah, it's a funny combination of bravery and caution. By the way, Mike Langley having a few problems with his microphone, so it's just you and me, Ahmed.
All right.
It's just like old times.
Just like old times.
Back in Arco, watching the speed climbing, sunset, gelato in the belly, just like old times. Libor Harosa, Dmitry Timofeev. Both of these guys will feel they can win here. One of them won't even make the last 8. Libor's just had a couple of mistakes at key moments this season. Harosa on the left got a very good start. I wonder it might even have been a false start. And Timofeev slipped very low down. And Libor, no trouble whatsoever. 6.14. It's 8.84 for Timofeev. Actually a pretty good recovery because he had a slow start and a terrible slip low down. But Libor cruises through.
A very comfortable run for Libor.
8.84 for Timofeev. So out next, again, the legends coming thick and fast here. We've had Libor against Dmitry, and now it's Stanislav Kokorin against Daniel Bouldering. Bouldering on the right, the former world record holder, of course, that got brought down this year after having stood for a few years.
I do love seeing two different climbers of two different statures like this climb against each other. Just the very, very different ways of doing things. Daniel's going to reach a little further, use that that height, and we're just. Oop, and here we go.
And it's a quick start for both of them, and you can see they've climbed out of our shot. This is going to be our tightest race yet. Boldyrev, I think, took it. He did. 5.91. I'm not sure why we've lost our clock. Hopefully we'll get that back on screen. 5.91, 6.01, just over 6 for Korin. So the time's coming down. 2 men so far, under 6 seconds. Quickest time of the day as yet for Boldyrev.
Yeah, I was saying, Stanislav, crazy fast, like moving his hands much quicker, I would say, than Daniel. But Daniel can just reach a little higher, explode a little bit more with his legs, and it just gets him to those holds a little bit faster.
Well, it's something we've seen in athletics. We just had the Athletics World Championships and Usain Bolt, and when you've got longer limbs, if you can move them at the same speed as someone with shorter limbs,
you go
advantage. Faster.
That's right.
Problem is at getting that cadence.
Yeah, moving all that quickly is the difficult part. And if you can do that, you're just on a whole other level.
So Alexander Shikov, Alessandro Santoni on the right. And it's a quick start from Shikov. He's making light work of this, but a major slip in the middle of the route. Hands it to Santoni. He goes through in 6.29, 7.42 for Shikov. Yeah, it's interesting, Ahmed. We seem to have been having this discussion a lot.
That's right.
About taller and smaller climbers. You'd have thought in speed climbing with a set route there would just be a best build.
That's
right. It doesn't
right.
seem to be the case at all.
No. I mean, it really just comes down to hard work at that point. If you're shorter in stature and you need to make like a few more moves than somebody that's taller than you, you're just going to work on making those moves a little bit quicker, getting your feet in the perfect position so then you can not slip and just keep that cadence going.
Just mentioned it in athletics. Usain Bolt, until he came along, to be a disadvantage to be tall in
That's
sprinting.
Right.
6'1", maybe 6'2" maximum for sprinters. Most of them were much smaller than that, but Bolt rewrote the rules, and we see it in speed climbing. If you can get those big legs moving,
that's right,
you're away. And that looks suspiciously like rain. Oh my word, I've just turned around for the first time in a while. Got a bit of a fright. That is a big black cloud and a couple of flashes of lightning. That's the view now ahead. So I've been so busy concentrating on the lead and now the speed. It's the first time I've turned around for a repeat of Munich here. It's undercover, so I do apologise.
Following you? Is that
yeah,
is that what it is?
So, yeah, it looks like the same one actually from Munich. Looks familiar. Yeah, I do apologise if it does
and
start
Mike,
to rain. We'll make a run for it.
Mike for the win with the umbrella.
Yep, Mike Langley's microphone gave up quite early on, but he's still alongside us enjoying the show, and he's just gone and got an umbrella. This is great. I think we should perhaps have a runner for every live stream. We'll see how the budget's looking.
Yeah.
I think I know how that conversation will go. So we're down to 8 climbers in both the men's and the women's competition here in the speed climbing. They can see that big black cloud. There's not a huge amount the organisers can do to get things moving any faster. The races take as long as they take. And already, Yulia Kaplina is out. She will run unopposed because Elena Timofeev did not record a time. Elisabetta Dalla Brida false started. Timofeeva surely kicking herself. Had an empty wall next to her, as Kaplina does now, and she doesn't make that many mistakes. It was a surprise to see Timofeeva make a mistake on her own. It'd be an even bigger one to see Yulia Kaplina do it. She'll still go through the same start procedure though, but she will be guaranteed her place in the last 4. Let's see if she goes for any sort of a time. No. She will cruise to the top, the current world record holder. 8.17. Still
a pretty fast time for these conditions. Yeah,
actually,
that was bold for going alone.
Yeah, I saw her nearing the top of the route and thought, actually, maybe she is going for some of the time.
I think she's just taking advantage of the extra practice run.
Yeah, would have got her through in most of the races in the round of 16. So started out slowly and then seemed to get a taste for it and trotted a pretty fast time, 8.17.
Sunova. And again, we've got the change in stature, so here we go. Let's see how that affects them.
Yeah, Siganova, nice clean start, climbing steadily. Not super fast at this stage, but takes it in 7.96. Actually, a pretty quick time again. It's 8.8 flat from Aurelia Saracen. Much of the venue here in Arco going into panic stations. The bad weather seems to be getting closer. We'll keep you up to date. Of course, the speed wall is covered here in Arco, but if it's anything like in Munich, that's no guarantee. The rain was coming in from the side in Munich, so we hope we will stay dry. Apologies, as I say, if suddenly everyone gets a little rushed and begins to run for the inside, including us.
Let's just hope it doesn't rain sideways.
We don't mind getting wet, of course, but there's quite a few €1,000 worth of equipment out here. So Anouk Jobert takes on Adita Ropek. Jobert, she's closest to the camera there, has looked quick this year, but just more often than not, just been beaten to it by Yulia Kaplina. How can she get on here? This for a place in the last 4. She gets her way well, but so does Ropek. Jobert just opened up a bit of a lead, and now it's a body length lead. She won't need to do much to hang on to this one. 8.01, 8.98 for Ropek.
Yep, and there we go. Those times are getting faster.
They are, yeah. They're just beginning to come down. We see this. I'm always impressed that speed climbers are able to do this so successfully, bring their times down gradually.
And you know what? Honestly, now just a little recap of the weather and the climate right now. I guess since the storm is coming, it's gotten a lot drier.
Ironically, it has.
Yeah, it's gotten a bit cooler and a lot drier, and I'm not sure if that's going to do anything with as far as their holds, but the skin is definitely going to feel a little bit better. So you might see some faster and faster times coming up. At least for our speed climbers, this is kind of welcome.
Certainly is. It's Roaz on the left. Krasavina on the right. Sorry, Anna Brozek on the right, and she just takes it, 8.38. So we're simultaneously trying to get ourselves under cover. Apologies to Anna Brozek, 8.38 sees her through.
All right, we're going back to the men. All right, we got Ludovicio and Leonardo competing against each other. Nothing like that Italian pride to get you going.
Yeah, Italian versus Italian. Jontero threw 6.51 in the previous round. It was 6.34, a smidgen faster for Fossali. We saw a couple of times later on. Daniel Boldyrev and Reza Ali Porshena went under 6. Fossali on the left. Jontero on the right. And it's a quick start from both of them. Fossali got the lead. Jontero, despite that speed in the middle, can't catch him, and it's 5.84, fast time for Fossali. He's through.
He is very excited as well. Being teammates, I know he must respect Leonardo quite a bit, and to beat him here, then.
That's a superb
And there we go.
run.
And there they go. A little congratulatory handshake, and they're off.
5.4, that was fast from Fossali.
Yes, it was. Bolder and bolder. I think they're starting to feel this weather change a little bit.
Yes, and so we, as we make our way indoors, Vladislav Dulin will now take on Gianluca Zodda. So there's 3 Italians out of the first 4 in this men's round of 8.
This crowd is real jazzed up.
Dulin is on the left, takes on Zodda. They both got a clean start. Dulin, such power and pace in the lower section, and I think he's going to keep that lead. He does. 6.04. It's not the fastest time we've seen. More than enough to get him through. So Dillon goes through, 6.04 for him.
Now we have Riva and Libor.
This is a clash of the titans.
Yeah, right here. Oof.
Libor, the legend of the sport. Reza, very much the man of the moment. He's been smashing world records left, right and centre. It looks like we've got our clocks back on the screen. That's a good development. You generally need one with Reza about.
He has been killing it. Libor is not going to let him have it easy.
He's certainly not. We've seen the odd slip occasionally in the last couple of years from Reza. One of them would be very nice indeed from Libor's point of view. They're ready to go. And it was a quick start from Libor, but Reza just extraordinary pace through the middle.
Libor
and a quick
missed that
slip
left
from
foot.
him. Yep. Still a little slip from Reza. About 2/3 of the way up. We may see a replay of that, but 6.15 sees him through. No time for Libor. And again, a slip from Libor.
Yeah, it seems it looked like, we'll have to see the replay, but it looked like Libor just missed that left foot. Tried to explode and couldn't get his weight on it.
Let's have another look at it. So, talk us through this one.
And
Slip from Libor, and then Reza makes a mistake as well.
That's right. And right about here. So what Reza did right over there, he missed the foot, but he's actually like smearing so hard on the wall that it didn't matter. He was able to get his left foot up and just keep going. It might have taken maybe 1/10 of a second off, but he was able to recover very quickly. Libor's was a little bit too much.
So we've got Boldyrev against Santoni, now. Boldyrev out quickly, and he's flying. He means business here in Arco. Climbs out of our camera shot and into 5.93. Times tumbling down. That fine line between risk and reward in speed climbing. How much do you go for it? How much do you play it safe and just try and beat the man next to you? So far, Daniel Boldyrev doing a pretty good job of judging that one. So your top 4 in the men's competition, it will be Ludovicio Fossali. He'll take on Vladislav Dulin. Reza Alipor, Shena Zandifar will then take on Daniel Boldyrev. The winner of those races goes into the big final. That decides the gold and the silver, and the runners-up in those races go into the small final. It decides the bronze medal. So the athletes are normally presented to us again. I can't help wondering if this might be an opportunity to skip out that section of the procedure given the weather conditions. There is an extremely violent storm very, very close by. I wonder if the judges are going to call this and have the presentation we normally have, the Final Four normally presented to the audience. We shall see. There it is. You can see why they're a bit worried. It's not the blue sky we had earlier today, that is for sure.
It is not. It is creeping on us very quickly.
Myself and Amatore have, with the help of a couple of people, got ourselves under something resembling cover, but not enough to withstand that when it arrives.
It'll do for now. It'll do.
Let's have a look. Are they introducing the climbers, the Final Four? We'll just wait to see. This venue MC's announced Anna Tiganova. She's not yet on the stage. I've just seen Anna Tiganova actually through the doorway, just to the left of your shot there. She has her rock boots on, she has her climbing shoes on. She doesn't have her trainers on, she doesn't look like she's about to be introduced to the crowd. We shall see. Slightly nervous feeling actually amongst this crowd. No, they're just going to get straight on with it. Kaplina on the left, Tiganova on the right. Kaplina, she's been the dominant force of 2017. She won the overall in 2016 as well, through consistency, you would have to say. This year she's looked close to unstoppable, set the world record in the World Games in Poland, 7.32. Impressive if she can beat that in these conditions in Arco, but she seems to be getting faster and faster right now. She's on the left, closest to the camera, fires up the early moves.
And we are
Tiganova close with her though. They are neck and neck. This is going to be tight. And
last three moves, and Kaplina just had it a little faster.
She's just had a little more left in the tank. She goes through 7.37 to 7.58 from Tiganova. Tiganova, who's we've also seen climbing in other disciplines, back in her natural environment, if you like, the speed wall.
That one was very close for a long way up there. I thought we might have another tie like we did last year.
So, Anouk Jobert is out. Anna Brozek also out. Jobert-Kaplina final. Always seems like that's what most people predict, but it's thrown a spanner into works, these changing conditions. Hear the beeps. You see them go. It's a good start from both, and a big slip from Brozek. Jobert just needs to keep this clean and she'll be through. 8.11.
And she knew it too.
Yeah,
Slowed
she knew
down
it.
just a little bit, just to keep the time.
And you mentioned earlier about the left lane, you can't see your rival quite as much, but I think Jobert definitely caught a glimpse of that.
Just a little bit, yeah. At some point, you are going to have to, turn over to the right in the route, and you might catch a glimpse of the person over to your right. And I bet she did, and held a little bit back after that, just to keep make sure she hit the buzzer.
If you're in that left hand, the A lane, at what point on the route can you generally become aware of your opponent?
So once you're on what I would call the number two, so not, after the start hold, you've got the very first IFSC speed hold right there, and then the next one right above the third foot jib. That is where you're going to be taking that right foot up, and that's your first glimpse of the right side. And then after that, it's going to be just a bunch of like twisting your hips, going left and right, and you catch a couple more glimpses as you go.
So Ludovic Fasali, he's on the left. Vladislav Dolin is on the right. Dolin posed much lower starting position. Whatever he was doing, it seems to have worked. He flew out the blocks. This will be tight though. It's 5.9 for Dolin. He goes through to the big final. Fasali, very nice sporting behaviour from Fasali. A little clap for Dolin there. Great to see. And that was a blistering run from Dolin. Looked fast from the second he got out the blocks. We can have another look at it. He's on the right, Dolin. He got out quickly. Fasali actually made the first move, but once Dolin got going, he was blistering and pretty much a clean run.
Going. Exactly. And I did love how he never concentrated really over to the left. He never focused on his other competitor. You can even see him kind of looking down to avoid that pressure.
So the current world record holder against the man whose record he took, Reza Ali-Porsheina. 5.48. If he can go faster than that here, I wonder what he can do in cool conditions in Edinburgh in just over a month's time.
Don't blink, guys.
Could be fireworks here. It's Reza on the left, Daniel Boldyrev on the right. And Reza, as ever, fast start. Daniel just can't seem to catch him, but Reza's a big mistake in the middle, but then
so
Daniel does too. 6.15 for Reza. He matches to the 100th of a second his time from the previous round. He hasn't won yet, but he's in the big final. Yeah, exactly the same time, 6.15. That's what he beat Libor Hroza with. That's what he beats Daniel Boldyrev from. And a bit of a messy run from Boldyrev.
A little bit.
He's looked very clean today until that, but never seemed to quite get out of the blocks, and then another stumble in the middle.
That stumble in the middle pretty much clinched it. And yeah, here we go, looking at it again. And right about there, his left foot didn't quite make contact, and then we got a slip of the left foot, major slip. Didn't quite get it high enough.
Yeah, Rez has not been on the cleanest form today, though. So
that is another difficult thing for the tall climbers, actually, is bringing those legs up. With a shorter person, you can really just bring this up to your chest, and then your foot's on the hold, and that helps you kind of move a little bit faster, move those hands, move those feet. But if you're taller, it's just hard. It's just hard to bring your legs up. It's harder to be more flexible.
There's more limb to get between you and the wall.
That's correct, exactly.
And underneath your center of gravity.
That pesky thing.
Yeah, gravity, not climbers. Favorite thing in the world. So just to confirm, your big final in the women's competition, it will be Yulia Kaplina against Anouk Jobert, as it has been so many times over the past couple of years. And then it will be the Annas, Tsiganova and Brozek in the small final. In the men, Reza Ali-Porsheina Zandafar will take on Vladislav Dolin, both World Cup winners already this year. Reza, the world record holder. So, this is the women's small final.
We'll figure out our third and fourth place climbers here.
Yes, this for the bronze medal here. As I say, they've skipped out the presentation. Normally we see the athletes represented to the crowd. Top four, not done it, and I think that's a very wise decision. Small final for the women. Tsiganova on the left, Anna Brozak on the right. And Tsiganova got a really good start, but this is tight, and a big mistake from Brozak. We mentioned in the left-hand lane, Tsiganova will
keeps it together. There we go, and we got bronze.
Yes, we do. 7.91. Seem to have lost our clock again, but we can see the one in the venue. 7.91 for Anna Tsiganova. Bronze medal for her. Quick embrace from the climbers, and they head back in. Yeah, Tsiganova basically had an unopposed run there. It was a low slip from Brozek. And as we were just talking about, you can see out that left-hand lane. Wind beginning to pick up here in Arco.
If you guys can see a little tarp over there just moving about, that's that is that wind picking up.
Yeah, it was interesting actually in the lead semi-finals earlier today. Campbell Harrison, who was with myself and Mike, was saying there's a storm forecast for late, and it was pretty hard to believe when you saw the blue sky, but now it seems very easy to believe. The storm close, you can see it there, it's closing in on us. The organisers will be desperate to get this final done and dusted. The athletes want to climb, they want a gold medal. They're not going to have long to do it.
Who knows, maybe it'll all just blow over to the left and we'll all be okay.
And I think that right there is a definition of optimism. It's all right. You never know.
I try.
Stranger things have happened, but not many. So Ludovic Ofrasali takes on Daniel Boldyrev in the men's Small final for
Big
Sali.
moment.
Yeah, could
Yeah,
claim
big
a
moment
bronze
for
medal
Fasali.
here, for sure. Bouldering, he's been here many times before. Wonder if that's a bit of gamesmanship there. He's just taking a bit longer to get clipped in, just making Fasali wait.
Build that nervousness just a little bit more. Daniel is very experienced.
And it's a quick start from Bouldering, and it was too quick. False start means that Lidovic Fasali will have an unopposed run. He's pretty happy about it already. Call it straight away. Let's have a look at this. This is Daniel Boulderev's start. Only just, but a false start is a false start.
And you can see right off the foot.
And there's Ludovic Fasali. Doesn't need to do his run. He takes third. Clock's still ticking. This a replay of earlier on. And they're gone again. It was very briefly Reza Andy Porshena Zandifar and Libor Harosa.
And if you saw that start off the foot, Daniel, he shot off that, just barely any time. His foot just came off, where it just hit, the foot just immediately came off, like way too quickly.
It's interesting, actually. That's the second false start we've had.
Yeah.
Both times, the first words out of my mouth have been, "That's a fast start by."
Yep.
It's tiny margins, but you can see it.
That's right.
It's visible.
That's right. You do.
So
you definitely want to come off of that foot right as the buzzer goes off. But it is all about that timing and maybe even and rocking your foot a little bit before the buzzer, just so you remain in contact with the sensor before you go.
So Yulia Kaplina, closest to the camera, takes on Anouk Jobert. This for the gold medal. Bronze already gone to Anna Tsiganova. Clean start from both. Not a clean start from Kaplina. And that means that Anouk Jobert is the winner here in Arco. And she looks slightly frustrated.
Well, that's two podium finishes due to false starts.
Yeah, interesting. Anouk Jobert instantly shook her head, looked unhappy. I understand you want to win it the right way if you like, but
that's right.
Still, slightly unusual reaction from Anouk Jobert, considering she just won the gold medal, but perhaps, as I say, wants to win it the right way.
It says a lot about her character right there.
Yeah, it does. It does. True competitor. But she will take the gold medal. So, the men's big final now. Dillin closest to the camera, Reza Ali Porshena Zandifar. You can't quite see him, the world record holder. No one's been anywhere near that world record today. Conditions not been ideal. Reza, you would imagine, won't be thinking too much about world records right now. And storm approaching, bad conditions, very tough opponent. I think this will be about getting the job done. He's always capable of going faster, we know that. So Reza's on the right, Vladislav Dillin on the left, closest to the camera there. You can see Reza lining it up. They've both won World Cups this year. Who will win this one? It's a big slip from Reza. Dillin will take this. I don't know if he's even looked to the right yet. 5.83. Massive slip from Reza earlier on. Means Dillin wins here in Arco. And he enjoys the moment. So a strange set of finals. It was
very strange.
Slips, false starts.
Slips, false starts. It was a very interesting final.
It almost had a last person standing feel to it. Just get to the top of the route. You were halfway there. Let's have another look. So and Reza,
right off that left foot.
It was the left foot on the third foothold.
Got a little bit too far on the right and didn't get on top of it. And there we go.
Yeah,
easy win.
He's not looked his clean best this weekend here in Arco, but he'll still take second, and there is what everybody is worried about. Just to let you know, by the way, normally we would have live streamed the podiums, but normally we would have live streamed the podiums. Unfortunately, we can't do that tonight. The risk to the equipment is just too great, so we will be coming off air. Just confirm the results in just a second. Yeah, that's the reason we can't live stream the podiums, unfortunately, from the lead or the speed. But we lost Mike Langley very early on, but Ahmed, thoroughly enjoyed your company as ever.
Thank
you very much.
Pleasure to be here.
We'll be back, as I say, with the Innsbruck Youth World Championships just next week, and then 23rd and 24th of September. The lead and speed athletes are in action in very different surroundings in Edinburgh, Scotland. We'll see you then.